What's up, guys? Fico here, and I'm a bit tired. I'm a little winded. I'm a bit out of it. I just right now finished my shift working from home. It was just kind of like at the last mile, just could not. But I've wanted to talk to you guys. I gave a couple of hours, and it's been exactly half a day that has passed that I watched Man of Steel. This is the third movie that I've seen in the last 2 days in the movie theater. I think this has been the most that I've seen movies. This is a very interesting development, but I finally got to see Man of Steel. It's a movie that I've been wanting to see since it first came out. I've had a ton of issues with my new schedule, getting acclimated to that, and I'm definitely excited to be talking to you guys about it. And I got to see it in a theater that I have not been in a long while. I got to see it on reserved seating. I got to see it in a nice leather chair that can get rolled back, and I could put my feet up, and I had a large Coke Raspberry Zero from those dispensing machines that you can pick up about 100 combinations. And I think it was the most relaxed I have ever been to watch a movie. And I'm serious, that was a great. And there's a comic book shop literally next to it. I mean, it's wonderful. I love that theater. I mean, if it wasn't so far away, which, they have a rewards program with it, and it doesn't equal much too far away. But you know what? It's worth the visit if I want extra comics. But hey, what do you know? Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder, and he's really awesome director, visual director. I love almost all his movies. Even Sucker Punch, which was kind of a brainless movie, but if you could just take it for what it is, it's just a visual spectacle, just mindless fun. I'm sure. I mean, I definitely dug it, and but not as much as I dug Watchmen, 300, and now this Man of Steel, and I loved it. Let's just go out and say it. Now, the movie is kind of just retelling the origin story of Superman. And Superman, he's being played by Henry Cavill. And Henry Cavill abso-freaking-lutely nailed it. I mean, he nailed it. He played Superman perfectly. I mean, I don't think he definitely kicked Brandon Routh's ass in playing Superman. I mean, not that he didn't play him well. It's just that, Henry Cavill, I mean, he could tell he was a little more enthusiasm. He was like a lot of energy. He really gave to this role. I mean, the weight of Superman's entire legacy was on his shoulders. And I mean, this movie has a huge cast. I mean, Russell Crowe was playing Jor-El, which was amazing. Amy Adams playing Lois Lane. She was good. I mean, she was Lois Lane, kind of like the damsel in distress, but also the kick-ass reporter that, was just like spitting with the boys, shooting the dick word, General Zod, I mean, y'all already know it was General Zod. Michael Shannon, he definitely nailed Zod. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, he didn't provide the impact as though, Heath Ledger did with the Joker, or how this dude, the dude that plays Loki did. You know what? You don't need every one of them to be a devious, I mean, maybe Zod I was reading a little bit about Zod, and Zod is supposed to be just this reluctant go ahead first and think about stuff about it later. I mean, he had a good strategy, but Michael Shannon, in my opinion, he played him good, and it was pretty cool because the story of this is that he's trying to. We all know the origin story of Superman. Superman, he was a baby. He is in the final days of Krypton, his home planet. It's about to blow up, and it seems. I arrived late to this movie, so I missed a little bit of the movie. I caught it when Krypton was like in the verge of destruction. Then I caught something about a codex. And the codex apparently is supposed to be the information of the entire history of Krypton. And then they encoded it inside of Kal-El. They send Kal-El over away. And Zod is trying to get that so he can reconstruct Krypton. That's the plot of the story. I'm not going to tell you what happens after that. But, Zod, he shows like a coup. He's trying to just do this lap-ditch effort. They vanish him to the Phantom Zone, him and his rest of his cronies. But in the meantime, Superman grows up. He's not yet Superman. Kal-El. He goes from place to place. He gets adopted by the Clarks, by the Kents, and he becomes Clark Kent. And they raise him, and you see through flashbacks and through flash forwards how he is trying to find who he is and trying to discover his origin. And let me tell you something, this movie does a really good job. I mean, it's like he manages how he kind of slowly just embracing the fact. I mean, like, because this movie is like he wants to help people. Clark wants to help people, and he wants to. But his father, who's played by Kevin Costner, by the way, he's amazing in this movie. He tells him, look, people are not ready to see you. They're not ready. I mean, you are the answer. There is life outside of our universe. You are the premier. You are an alien life form. You got to stay low key. And throughout the stuff, things happen trying to keep himself low key. And when Zod comes into the play, all of a sudden he does have to take a leap of faith in revealing himself, because in reality, if he did not reveal himself because he was too afraid of humans accepting him for he is a new type of species on this planet. But who else is going to stop Zod? I loved this movie. I loved it. Loved it. I was very entertained. I heard that Christopher Nolan was produced. I heard that David S. Goyer worked on this movie as well, I think. But Scott Snyder, all the credit to him. He's such an amazing, gifted visual director. And this is his best movie so far, in my opinion. Now, me and Superman, we don't have a love-hate relationship. Me and Superman have a not love but always liked relationship. I mean, I used to watch Superman, the old TV show, on Nick at Night. The one that went faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And I used to see the animated series. I have seen every Superman movie, including Superman Returns, which I did not think it was too bad, but even I had to kind of just see the plot holes, and it was not as the return that we wanted for Superman. And this entire thing, I mean, this is about as far as I've gotten with Superman lately, reading the first volume of Justice League. And I am inspired to read more Superman. I mean, I want to read All-Star Superman. I want to read the New 52 Action Comics. I read on General Zod's wiki, which they pretty much keep really good in terms of comic-related stuff, that he's going to show up in November. So I cannot wait to see how they portrayed Zod on New 52. I over the course of my putting my comments on Facebook, how I really liked. All of a sudden, I heard people saying it. Oh, it's a Dragon Ball Z movie. Oh, I really liked Dragon Ball Z. I like how they portrayed Dragon Ball Z perfectly. I kind of find that really sort of just. I know they're just poking fun of how it is, but you know what? What would they have preferred? Is my question. They wanted more action. They wanted less story. They wanted to see Superman finally be used, to see him, how he does his action. His fight scenes were amazing, and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, this is like Dragon Ball Z. You know what? Stop bitching. Seriously. It's Superman. He's faster than a speeding bullet. He's more powerful than a locomotive. He's the strongest man in the universe. And his entire race of Kryptonians are just as strong as him if they got to Earth. And guess what? They're going to be just as fast. And they're going to be just as strong. And that is why you see these action scenes like this. And I totally love how this whole thing just... I mean, if you want to get extra picky, I would think Dragon Ball Z pretty much ripped this off, because Dragon Ball Z isn't as old as Superman, so they could say, oh, this is too much like an anime, but you know, he did it first eons ago. So Dragon Ball Z, as much as I love you, you don't hold a candle against Superman. Sorry, you did it second. And I don't know why people complain. I mean, the other complaints were that oh, it wasn't like the comics. You know what? There are tons, years and 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 years of Superman lore. Pick which one it's not depicting. In my opinion, I've distanced myself from comics and movies. If I go see a movie, I'm going to go see a movie, and this movie was incredible. And I've heard another complaint of how there isn't any human development for Clark. I do admit that we do spend a lot of time with Superman, and we do spend a lot of time with him in action scenes and a lot of special effects. But you know what? That's what you all wanted, I think. Don't you? I mean, the one movie before the last one, which was like Superman Returns, which everybody hated, was The Quest for Peace. That was a piece of shit. And you all wanted to see more action from Superman, and Zack Snyder gave you that and more. And you know what? We got flashbacks of Clark dealing with the development of his powers. We got flashbacks of Clark breaking his urges of helping people, coming to a realization from his dad that if he does not want to be discovered, he has to let people around him never see, even if it means costing people's lives. He is too important. I mean, seriously, his father, Paul Kent, he sees the greatness of that he is going to be. I mean, he sees Superman before anybody saw Superman. And we see him just be this outsider who is trying to keep himself low on the radar, but he cannot help but want to help people. And he's trying to find out who he is. I would say that this is probably the best Superman that we have ever gotten, ever. And even including Christopher Reeve. And yes, I am saying that. Yes. Get over it. This is a new Superman, Christopher Reeve. He has had the reigning and defending world's best Superman in the world. Sorry. Henry Cavill, you did a really good job. I dubbed the new Superman. Seriously, Zack Snyder, when he comes back in 2015 to direct the Superman, the Man of Steel sequel with Batman that was recently announced on Comic-Con, I cannot fathom the awesomeness that this is going to be. I cannot imagine. I've seen Superman, Batman, both together in animated features. I saw it in the Justice League. I read it in the Justice League. I saw the one where they explain Supergirl's origins. And guess what? I cannot wait. Seriously. And of course, we were talking about Justice League. That is pretty much the first step towards the development of the Justice League movie. There is also a rumored Flash movie in the next year, 2016, and 2017 is the supposed JLA. But we're talking movies that are coming in like 4 years ahead of us. But let me just tell you one thing, and last thing I want to say about the Man of Steel movie. The Man of Steel movie is fun, it's entertaining, it's full of action, it's full of good acting, it's full of great actors, and it's full of just wonderful moments. I mean, this movie, you have to be the most jaded comic book nerd to not see this for a good movie. Me and Victor, Victor will always have imperfections with the movies. He'll always just kind of poke and prod him, and I wish he would just relax, turn his brain off, and just see the movie for what it is. It's a fun movie. Professional critics have been giving this a B+, a B-, because they don't focus too much on Clark's side, and they focus a lot on Superman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not. I loved this movie. I loved every single moment of it. I liked all the moments. I liked that Lawrence Fishburne was in this movie. It was kind of funny because the dude plays Morpheus, and the actor that played Commander Locke, you know, the rival from Zion in the movies, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolution, they were both in this movie. They never saw each other, but they were both in this movie, and I was like, wow. It's just also, this all just comes back to, again, you know? It goes back to Matrix. But I really enjoyed this movie. Really, super 100% recommend this to anyone who has not seen this movie yet. This movie is probably going to be gone soon. So catch it before you before you lose the chance. Please get your chance to see this. I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 5. And I don't care what people think. No, this movie, I enjoyed it. It was everything I thought it was going to be. I thought Henry Cavill was awesome as Superman. I thought Michael Shannon killed it as Zod. I thought that the music was great. The special effects were great. The action was awesome. And this is a Superman movie. I mean, this was a Superman movie. And this continues the trend of never going back to mediocrity. There's no way. And the Wolverine is coming out soon, and everyone is feeling the buzz about how this will finally be the Wolverine movie that we've been waiting for. And you know what? That's saying a lot. That's bringing a movie with the same character being played by the same actor, and all of a sudden now we are seeing Wolverine rise up. And you know why? Because we can't accept mediocrity again. All these movies that are coming out, these superhero movies that have been great year after year, we cannot go back to Batman and Robin. We can't go back to Daredevil and Elektra. We can't go back to the Fantastic Four movies. No, we can't. No way. I don't want to go back to those days. I don't want to see mediocre X-Men movies. I don't want to see another badly done Superman movie. This one was a great movie. I recommend it to everybody. So please go see it. And catch Justice League because this is a freaking awesome comic. This is the new 52. I have not read older Justice League. I'm probably gonna have to start going back. But you know what? I'm enjoying the new 52. So seriously, guys, go see Man of Steel. That's it. That's it. That was a little longer than I wanted to go on, but the rant just kind of took over. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of whatever is left with your weekend, and go see movies. Go crazy. So, peace out. I saw these comics on the floor for some reason. Lost their balance.